5.
That's right. It's another late night and time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. And tonight we're pulling out. Oh boy. Oh god, I need some oven mitts. This one's like right smack dab, hot out of the oven, hot off the presses. Oh boy, and even has a vaguely Formiga-esque smell. I love Mom more. Oh my goodness, the brand new Just JGI sketch. Oh, what a wonderful day. Both, of course, written, directed, and edited by none other than Joshua Thomas.
Another Joshua Thomas Grand Slam.
The prestige, basically the great Danton of hat collectors, that Joshua
Man.
Thomas.
Hugh Jackman's character in The Prestige, for anyone who hasn't watched that movie.
Guy with all the hats in the yard.
Which is probably a way better analogy for Joshua Thomas than my whole I'll say it one more time for prosperity's sake, and then I'll retire it for a while. He's got 1 foot on the dock and 1 foot on a rocking boat from Pirates of the Caribbean. Anyways, oh yeah, so Dragon, this sketch, man, it's definitely a spiritual successor to Jackie, which is, in my opinion, like a Mount Rushmore JGI sketch.
It really is. It really is. You know what's funny? They say it's a spiritual successor, but I tell you, I combed over this thing. There's only one reference that prevents this from being a direct sequel and or prequel to Jackie.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just basically the brother's name. If they just change the brother's name, because essentially the brother's name is, from what I can tell, because I basically almost had like a split screen going on of Jackie, this sketch, Jackie, this sketch.
Uh-huh.
And the names in that sketch were Jeff and Greg. And that's the same names we have here. Now, obviously, there's a bit of a problem there. Of course, one is the co-worker who's played by Mark Sipka and Jackie, and his name is Greg. And now he also has a brother who is named Greg. Either Small World, or again, I think it's kind of a relaunch of Jackie. I think it's kind of what we're going for here at the end of the day. But again, if you want to
reimagined.
Yeah, it's Jackie reimagined. It's kind of Jackie rebooted on JGI in a sense. It's been years. Let's do Jackie again, but let's do it even better. One could argue.
Yeah, and so with that in mind, I mean, does it kind of like reach the stratospheric heights of Jackie? I don't know. I think time remains to be seen, but it is a really, really clever sort of, you know, it's kind of like a jazz interpretation of Jackie's themes, if you will.
Of course, JGI, currently they have a number of sketches in the pipeline. They're kind of working on. They've been working on, I should say, that again have been kind of compiling. And basically, they're ready to drop these, and they'll basically be kind of like sprinkled throughout while they're working on. They're cooking up some of the big stuff. Essentially, folks, we are on the precipice of no more campaigning for it, folks. It's happening. Harley Quinn, the Joker versus the Real World, episode 6. That's right, folks. He said 6, not 5, because you think, well, usually just goes on and on about episode 5. You're right. I didn't say 5. I said 6, man. It's finally here. It's finally happened. Joshua Thomas just putting the spit and polish on it, man. He's putting all little bells and whistles. He's decorating. He's kind of pre-gaming for Christmas, one could say. And they're putting all the trimmings on the episode, man. It's coming soon.
Episode 6 is totally going to be the Christmas episode.
Oh, one could dream. Point being, it's coming, it's happening, and folks, like we don't, it's going to happen, and this is basically something to hold us over until that point. After that, so they've confirmed this. After Harley Quinn, the Joker, episode 6, we are then getting Robustitute, Piper Hinson's short film.
Yeah. Cool.
Point being, they've been busy, folks. They've been busy. That's why I've been kind of a little mini siesta here, because they got a whole bunch of plates spinning. One could say Joshua Thomas, he's kind of ordering more hats for the holidays. Regardless, let's talk about it.
All right, so Dragon, I think you should maybe give a rundown on the cast this episode from what we know.
Sure. So, of course, we have Joshua Thomas returning. We then have Joshua Thomas returning as Jeff. Now, again, as far as I'm concerned with a lot of this is in essence kind of a sequel and an examination into the same character from Jackie, as far as I'm concerned. And this is Jeff, the guy from the Jackie sketch, but this is his home life. That's what I like to think.
Basically, Jeff is just kind of like a character in the JGI verse who has his thing, and his thing is just being really, really defensive and competitive about basically every aspect of his life.
Exactly. I'm saying this is the Freudian exploration into, or I guess the Oedipal exploration into why he was the way he was in Jackie. As in, like, either we followed him home after Jackie.
It'd be like if we saw the substitute teacher's home life in Key and Peele.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I'm saying. This is like either, whether you want to look at it as like a sequel, as, and it's just like the point being, this information we don't know about the guy that we're learning. So you could say it happens before Jackie or after Jackie. Doesn't really matter. Or again, it says spiritual successor in the names. The point being, I like to read it as this is just Jeff's home life, and we get to see like where Jeff's issues of competitiveness really come from, where they really stem from. So basically, we're echoing the story of Jackie in a completely new setting with Mom. And of course, in looking at this, of course, when I saw the image for this, I already had it's been everything they debuted the main image that we're working with here, like maybe a month or so back, and I kind of forgot about it. And then they announced like they're doing, I think a new sketch was going to drop, and I caught the premiere of this just by sheer happenstance. I told you about it, but again, it was just kind of like just dropped kind of out of the sky, and it's like one of those I had to be there moments.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, I got such a already with the staging and everything. Oh god, it's got to be like a Jackie successor. I remember a while back, just by sheer happenstance, I think they mentioned they were going to do another Jackie thing. It didn't occur to me until the thing started. Like, oh yeah, they're doing this. Must be the Jackie thing. Joshua Thomas was kind of flirting around.
As soon as it started, Dragon, I got really excited.
Oh yes, and of course, just with the image too and the curly wig. There's definitely some. This is probably the closest to Farmiga we're going to get on JGI for a while.
maybe.
Of course, any of the kids out there, Vera Farmiga, who played Norma Bates in Bates Motel, we love her. We're kind of like her biggest. We're kind of like the president of her fan club.
She's the main character in the new Godzilla movie.
Sure. I'm saying,
she's getting around.
And of course, I think the thing the kids are into now, the Conjuring movies. You know, she's.
yes, she is in the Conjuring movies.
Anyway,
so regardless.
Okay, regardless. So of course we start again in echoing the Jackie sketch. We start off again. We have
run down to the cast, Dragon. Run down to the cast.
All right. So we have Joshua Thomas as Jeff. We have his brother Greg, who is played by Kyle Health. If I'm pronouncing it Health, it sounds about right. The point is Kyle Health, who, by the way, remarkably looks like Drew Barkus. I just can't help but divorce myself from. He just looks so much like Drew Barkus from Joshua Thomas's youth, and also the Eraseway movie. He just looks identical to him. But Kyle Health. Maybe he changed his name. No, that'd be ridiculous. Point being, it's Kyle Health. Who happens to look a lot like somebody else. Point being, Kyle Health. He plays the brother. We have the mother, who's played by Reagan James. Reagan James, who was recently in the Salem Witch Candy sketch. Reagan James, specifically the little girl in the Big Bird costume, or as the witch would say,
Little Bird.
Little Bird. Yes. Which is just precious, truly. And later on, we're gonna glimpse at old Daddy-O, played by I believe Daryl Delaney.
Daryl Delaney, yes. So, Dragon, this is exciting because it kind of feels like a new season of Just Giggle It in a way, where we've got some returning favorites, we've got some fresh faces, and I gotta say, I hope some of these guys stick around, especially, I already forgot his name, the brother, sorry.
Kyle Health.
I knew it was Health. I just didn't know what the first
now
name
to my knowledge, and again I double checked as much as I could.
Yeah.
Since the sketch has dropped, I tell you, I'm pretty sure everyone but Joshua Thomas is a new face, and of course Reagan James since the last sketch he was in. My point is, all of these guys are kind of like the new batch they brought into JGI recently. Of course, the new batch
That's
also.
What I'm saying, and I'm hoping that with this new season, if you will, we get to see these people kind of like develop and flourish into their own. Come into their own, and we'll know their nuances and their strengths just as much as we know, the Piper Hensons and the Alex Poncios of the world. It's always exciting to get fresh blood into shows like this.
I tell you, I think the most potential I've seen, I really gravitated towards it in Christine Vetta, man. Christine Vetta, man, she has my business.
The witch.
Yeah, the witch, yeah.
Yeah, she had a lot of energy in that Salem witch trial sketch.
But also Misty from the Ash Ketchum. That's the one really grabbed me. Like, oh god, this girl has potential. She really does. She had kind of a Piper Henson moment for me, where with Piper Henson, it was like kind of the making her
moment.
She's going on the better things, folks, with this robostitute sketch. We gotta say her name a couple times because why not? No, but seriously, Piper Henson. I always go back to the moment that really cemented Piper Henson for me was the Making a Murderer sketch, and she just had like a little moment, like kind of an analogous moment. She was great through the whole thing. It was like that little scream that she gave to Ken Kratz, just always kind of stuck with me, and. Just the sheer terror in the scream is like, oh god, it's just something so funny, like the way she just snapped into it. And it's kind of anyway. So there's that, and with Christine Vetta was the whole, the whole like he'll call at the Panic of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which unfortunately now is kind of a dated reference, but still at the time.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog movie is still a hot mess, just for entirely different reasons I don't want to get into.
Sure. My point, though, is it wasn't as big like the, oh, God, Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's good. It's what an unholy...
Better. He looks better.
It does. He does look tremendously.
Great.
He looks tremendous. I think, well, compared to what he was, I think it looks better.
Compared to what he was, yeah, but it's still, I don't know, it's still got kind of like a Smurfs, Alvin and the Chipmunks vibe to it.
Okay, anyway, getting back on point. Your point being new batch of JGI players. Fingers crossed, man. So far, very promising. All right. Point being, we have the two brothers who are kind of at the dinner table here. Of course, mother kind of in between the two of them right now. So we echo the setup of Jackie here, where Jeff, played by Joshua Thomas, is kind of in the middle of a story here that ends the exact same way the Jackie sketch opened, with the Adios muchachos joke. So I told my boss I want time off, or adios muchachos.
Adios muchachos.
And Greg here essentially says, "Oh, you spoke Spanish to your employer,
your boss."
Okay, it's a little bit minorly reconstructed from Jackie, and of course, Greg here, he's essentially filling in for Mark Sipka's role. And I think those are some huge shoes to fill. Kyle Health here, he's filling some giant shoes.
I really think that if anything, this is Kyle Health's big inauguration into Just Giggle It, and I think it's exciting. I think he's got a lot of potential based on this sketch, and I think there's so much potential that I really do think that when Sipka pops up at the end, I'm sure you have the same vibe here, where that's pretty much Sipka kind of giving him the seal of approval and kind of passing the torch, if you will.
I had yes, but I also had a kind of another read on it too, which we'll get to.
Okay.
Anywho, so point, we have the two brothers. The two brothers have made it home for dinner with mom, and then oh god, I love the glorious spread of the set dressing on this too. By the way, I love we have this.
Let's go over it. There's pizza.
There's this plate of
cookies.
I love the plate of cookies. My eye is so drawn to the plate of cookies. It's like the most tantalizingly compiled plate of cookies I've ever. It's a giant stack of cookies, man. You never see that in real life. It's always in cartoons you see that.
Right. And then you have the whole roasted chicken.
There's a chocolate cake. Waffles. There are waffles there, man. This meal makes no sense, but I love it. Makes no sense. It just looks great.
But Dragon, something's missing. Something's missing from this meal. What is it?
You lamb.
But Mom, there's already so much food. Well, you boys love my lamb. Hold on one sec, Dragon. Go ahead.
There's a rack of lamb. It's just hilarious, truly. Also, there's some French baguettes too, which is also quite the point being, it's kind of, I love it. It's because it's kind of very comedy played. It's very a little heightened, a little bit more. It feels like kind of like a cartoon spread. Like you draw food on the table, we've transcribed into reality. It feels a lot of fun there. So, of course, as I mentioned, Reagan James as the mother here, just simply adorable. Again, as I mentioned, as close to Farmig as you're going to get in terms of look and just kind of a momness that she's bringing to the table here. Of course, Bates Motel also two brothers, so a little bit of that sibling rivalry also.
All right, enough with the Bates Motel, all right?
Take it forever going to make a Bates Motel.
I hear what you're saying. I totally hear what you're saying, but it's like I feel like we're the only two people listening to this who are going to really appreciate that.
Fair enough. Okay, I think we've reached the quota by now. All right.
Yeah.
Right. Point being, so of course she has this like, oh, I'm so happy both you boys made home at the same time. It's like you're in school again.
It's like you're in school together.
Now, there's a really fantastic directorial choice made here. I
Okay.
love. Okay, so we have this subtle yet very specific. We have two very subtle and specific freeze frame moments, or basically slow mo moments.
Mhm.
Where basically we have the image that we see here, where they go in for the hug, and it's like this little subtle thing. You notice, like, okay, we're slowing down to make sure this locks into the mind here. And then, of course, as she exits to get more lamb. Also, I have this adorable line by her, BRB, MBB, be right back, my baby boys. Like, oh, I love mom. And of course, when,
And then
so when
right
Greg,
when he says "I love mom," right when Greg says that, oh god,
okay, now this is the other, yeah.
like fucking Joshua Thomas is like in Daniel Day-Lewis mode with this.
So I had a fantastic read on this. So again, this is the other slowdown. This is the other freeze frame over again. It's kind of like the slow motion.
Just the way that his face just ever so slightly gets, you know what I mean? Just like gets a little more dour. It's like it's so slight, it's so subtle.
But seriously, this is like we have the epic slow mo here, where we relight the Jackie fire in Joshua Thomas, or the character, or Jeff, whichever way you want to interpret it here. Where oh god, I love mom, and I love that. Oh god, here just you see the fire being reignited. You see like the man has come alive again, and then this is where I think the best thing I can say about the sketch is that Joshua Thomas really shows, and he's been all over the place doing a bunch of things lately. In that, he's been getting some TV work, he's been busy directing and doing some of the other stuff behind the camera, as well as of course Harley Quinn the Joker, and he's appearing in Robust. Joshua Thomas, as stretched thin as the man is, this sketch really shows Joshua Thomas, after all this time, he hasn't lost a step, man. He's gotten better. This sketch shows this is kind of the graduation of Jackie to the sketch here. We do something special here, where the momentum he has with this newcomer, even it's not even Sipka, who he has like a whole built-in thing with here, with Kyle Health, who, as far as we know, complete newcomer. He might have known.
I mean, like, do we know if this, like, for all we know, this guy could be like an old-time friend of his?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know, but I'm saying, as far as we know, we don't. It could be like a new improv guy met during an improv class or something, or someone like, it could be that recent, could be like he's known for a while. We don't know. Point being, it just seems like the man is awakened, and he's going to dive into not only just kind of the Sipka banter that he had in Jackie, but it's going to be this evolution of they do something extra special with the back and forth. You'll notice throughout the sketch, Joshua Thomas doesn't lose any momentum. The Jackie was the exploration. Let's do this for the first time and just kind of bounce back and forth off of each other. They're bouncing back and forth, but here we've added something in the middle where there's so much passive aggressive, positivity in between the two of them here, where it's like there's no pauses in between it, where it's like sometimes they'll compliment you. That's nice, but this, that sort of thing, where it's like, I heard what you said, but I can top that. We've inserted that where we didn't have that in Jackie, and that's the thing that impresses me most. That's where it's like, the quote the Dana Carvey show, the now defunct Dana Carvey show. You're not getting older, you're getting better. Quote the shouting German sketch from Dana Carvey show. Anyway, point being, so now it's just, no, I love mom. Yeah,
no,
she's
but
our mom.
if I know she's our mom.
I mean, mom and I have a bond.
Mine and I not only have a bond, we have 4 secret handshakes.
So again, this is what I'm talking about. This is Josh Thomas not missing like a beat in the flow here, where he just congrats on that, congratulations on that. Mom only, oh god, just like mom is my only. Mom's the only name in my will.
Well, I didn't want to say this earlier, but Mom has seriously implied that I'm her favorite. That's funny, because she didn't have to imply, and I didn't have to infer. She told me that I'm her favorite.
What were her words? You're my favorite.
You're my favorite.
Again, that's what I'm saying, like the pacing, the back and forth, it's flawless. It's like, and of course, this is where things
get crazy. This is where things get racketed up a notch.
Not only do we have great back and forth, but it escalates, and that's the thing. It even escalates. Like Jackie escalated. This escalates even further. And again, this sketch is kind of like
further and at more points than Jackie did. Like there's more points of escalation.
And this really does feel like this is like for people who may be unfamiliar with Just Giggle It. Again, it's kind of a Jackie for the next generation of JGI fans, or for the new newcomers. Where they're coming into, and then this sells you only what the premise of JGI is with the whole Spinal Tap approach to comedy, where you rip the knob off, you keep ratcheting it up until you rip it off. With how absurd and how just like either like a skew dark or like a skew like over the top we're getting within the sketch that no other sketch show or sketches will go to. Just I was inside Mom for nearly 10 months.
I had to be cut out of Mom, and I didn't want to leave.
See, that's the JGI's. That's the JGI dial right there. Like I didn't even. I had to be cut out of Mom. Like that's it's just so creepy, so wrong, but so funny at the same time.
Then things get like a little bit more casual, where he's like, "I give Mom money every so often just so she can treat herself." Oh yeah, well I have an automatic deposit set up so she knows how much money is coming in, so Mom doesn't have to stress if, oh my God, a surprise comes in.
Remember when you pushed me out of a tree? You fell. Just like a little plausible deniability. You fell. I didn't push you, and I had to get that transfusion. I just love that he's just saying, "Don't you say it," because he knows the story already. He's like, "Don't you say," because it's the one thing he can't combat in all of this here. It's just,
right.
Mom gave him the transfusion. It means you know what my blood type is? Mom and I positive.
Oh God. So if you pushed Mom out of the tree, if she fell.
Oh, I love this though. Remember, he stops like, "You took our mother's blood," and he slaps.
Oh yeah,
like,
you're right.
How dare you steal our mother's blood? And no shame. It slaps him. And then there's the stare down. I guess the intensity within these two guys just keeps.
Like I said, that moment right there is kind of the closest thing we'll get to like a beat, like a pause of any kind.
Yes. So if you pushed her, fell. You couldn't give her blood now, could you? He really leans in.
He really like gets up in his like nose and just like
he kisses the nose.
Right. Oh God. And this is where this guy is like really, really showing potential, I think.
Absolutely. So then, oh God. Okay, then things get even better here. I love we have an underscoring, like an operatic underscoring to the scene in regards to the music here. So then we have. Okay. Now, this is one. I have to make one last reference here, Tiki, because this one actually does.
Okay.
So then we.
All right. Yeah. With this stuff, sure.
I'm dating a girl. Very Bates Motel-esque. I'm dating a girl who looks just like Mom.
My new girlfriend looks just like Mother, Dylan.
Yes. Again, of course, very mad. Goes full Manon Loomis here.
Okay.
with a fist bump. And here's my favorite bit in the whole sketch. I mentioned this during like the live premiere of it all here. So my favorite gag in the whole thing is like we have a pleasantry within all of this here. Where like I'm dating a girl who looks just like Mom. They fist bump each other. It's just like, yeah, it's great. Can do no wrong there. It's just hysterical. It's like a little fist bump. Like, yeah, good for you. Just. You know what, though?
What? I only date girls named Mom.
It's ridiculous.
That's funny. Now that I think about it, I think I'm going to break up with my current girlfriend because guess what? She's no mom.
So then he says, I'm going to put all my future sons up for adoption because I only want daughters, so they be named after their wonderful grandmother. Then this is what I'm talking about. This is the JGI stamp right here. I've altered my sperm so I can't even have a boy.
I have I love Mom tattooed on my chest.
Full memento.
God. I legally changed my middle name to Mama's Boy until I changed it back to Clarence because that's the original name that my mother gave me.
I love that it's Clarence of all the names. I just love that it's Clarence. So, Mom promised to live out her last days.
Oh God.
In the spare bedroom of my future family home. But it doesn't matter because whether I get married or not, I have that feeling because I'll have the best roommate of all time, Mom.
Oh my God. I gotta say that sentiment is just adorable. Just
it
like
is.
Being totally stoked, like having your life goal to have your mom as a roommate.
I mean, let's be honest. This sketch is really designed for both Beverly Goldberg and Norma Bates.
All right. Beverly
especially Beverly Goldberg. I mean, she would get a kick out of this. This is what she lives for anyway. So. Yeah, well, my favorite. Okay, here's my favorite line in the whole thing. So I do
Right,
love the. Okay, I love the fist bump bit, but this is my favorite line in the whole sketch. You son of a glorious
oh
person,
yeah, that's great. That's great.
or as I or hashtag SOGR. I say SOGP.
I'm dragging in my notes. I have like at this point they go full Super Saiyan.
That they do. So they're just basically doing this. This essentially is in the Jackie sketch. You have Mark Sip kind of doing his dog barking noise, and it's like they're both like, the stare down, the intensity is heightened, and now it's that we do legit like, Mom! It's like Kakarot, Mom! So then I get, oh god, so then they're very bon vivant fathers kind of wanders in here. It's very casual. Seems like a nice guy, by the way.
I have an analogy for this guy. This guy is kind of like the modern day hipster carousel of progress father.
God.
Like he is a modern day version of that, but he is kind of the carousel of progress guy where, he's got his pipe, he's got his red, his red shirt, his, I don't know, kind of looks
And a
like
point.
that.
Well, he has like the pipe and everything, so he's very
That's
much
what
all
I'm
the
saying.
classic
That's what I'm saying.
trimmings.
And he seems like just a very humble, like a idealistic guy.
Oh
Right.
yeah, so I gotta tell you, seems like he's wearing a sweater. Seems like kind of a nice guy. I don't know. I love the fact that these guys, they're just like they have no.
I know this guy is slightly inspired by Tim Sipka.
Oh, that'd be great. No mustache though.
Yeah, but I don't know. But keep in mind Tim Sipka is known to make let's just say off-color jokes from time to time, and
Now we don't mean like filthy degenerate jokes, folks. We mean literally
no,
off-color jokes.
of course not. But I get the feeling like them reacting to the dad just saying like, "Oh, your mother looks nice today," is kind of like maybe a.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is Tim Sipka-esque. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe just a little bit of a Tim Sip, like a little bit of Tim Sipka and the
like
DNA.
like the Tim Sipka joke of telling his like all the flirtatious lines to his wife. Hey,
Right.
you wanna watch me get changed?
God, I want to watch me get changed. Folks, for those, we might as well endorse it. Go to Amazon if you have Amazon Prime, which let's face it, who doesn't at this point? We all love free shipping. If you have Amazon Prime, go to Mark Sipka. Just search Mark Sipka in Prime Video, and you will find Mark Sipka, My Special Family Special, where you will not only hear glorious stories about said Tim Sipka, his father, but you will get to see the man, and the man steals the show right out from under his son's feet.
He does. That Tim Sipka man.
All right. Anyways.
Anyway, so the point being, so Father Ernst, I love the idea of like these guys, like no dad issues whatsoever with these boys here. It's like toss them aside, like hey dad, hey yes. It's like the fact that they're bending over backwards to make mom happy, but dad here is just like it's he's basically
we're in town. Yeah, we're here.
He's gonna blow them off. Their mom looks good today, and of course now they're completely taken compared to where they were in the conversation. It's like, oh come on. They're all grossed out by it and all like, come on, it's mom. And I love this is precious to me. She says, my ears are burning. So this is, oh come on, Dad, my girlfriend's here. Then we reveal, and this makes things even funnier with upon a second watch, because remember there are because the earlier girlfriend references, and I'm dating a girl who looks just like mom, and I'm thinking about breaking up with her. It says all of this while we then pan over to go to a wide shot and we reveal there she is sitting there the whole time at the end of the table. Really excellent framing on the whole sketch too, because we never saw the full table in that sense. We saw all the food on the table, but never like the edge of the table. Anyway, so she reveals that she's about to like, what the? Then
the?
Yep, and then we have the tag gag here with so Mark Sipka returns, and I feel this is a reference to one. It's a little tribute to the fact of either Mark Sipka is unavailable, or most likely they want to give some new people a try, and again, kind of revitalize things for a change. But again, I don't know, maybe Sipka wasn't available, but yet he would have been available for the subscriber tag. But yeah, remember, the subscriber tag is a lot shorter to do.
Well, yeah, obviously, Drake. And I'm saying like this, I mean, yeah, I feel like that's kind of what Because Mark Sipka, you got like he is a busy man in the LA stand-up
Yeah,
community.
that's what I'm
A lot
saying. I don't know if Sipka's purely been, maybe he was too busy. I don't know if he was too busy to do the sketch and he could only do kind of a little tag gag, or it was just the thing of like, maybe I just want to try out this Kyle
Honestly,
Helfer kid.
it's kind of like a passing the torch kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a passing the torch, but also in relation to that too, it's like also saying, hey, we got like the other original component from Jackie in there as well.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sipka back again in something, but for the time being, I just think that Just Giggle It is kind of like evolving, and these new people are sort of I want to see them take the limelight as other people kind of fade out. But Mark Sipka is a person that I'm sort of like following in his own regard. Like, I can't wait to see if he comes out with another stand-up special, and God forbid the next time I'm in LA. Like, I really do. It depends on where he is, Dragon, because the thing about LA is that it's a big area, but if you ever played like a stand-up club in Anaheim or something like that, I might have to book a trip just for that, because I'd actually be able to get to that. But regardless, it is one of my goals to see Sipka live, and I'm just I'm just saying, like, these people, like, as they evolve out of Just Giggle It, they kind of like have careers in their own right that are worth following, and that's one of the really interesting things about Just Giggle It. It's dare I say, it's almost kind of like a YouTube equivalent of SNL, and as Dragon and I have been saying literally for years at this point on the grab bag, Just Giggle It consistently, maybe, does it have the production values and star power of SNL? No. Is it maybe consistently more well-written than SNL? I would say there's a good argument to be made for that. There's about 100 JGI sketches at this point, Dragon. Am I right about that?
Those, yeah.
We're in that ballpark?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's anyway. You have like Harley Quinn, the Joker, and stuff as well, factor in there. But if you're just looking at the sketches, let's just say yes. Let's just, for simplicity's sake, we'll say yes.
Yeah, and I feel like everything that they put out is with like Dragon. Let's just say there's a lot more Jackies in the JGI lineup than there are excitable Spider-Mans.
That is true.
Do the excitable Spider-Mans of the world exist within the JGI canon? Yeah, but they're few and far between.
Yes. In the quote Steven Universe, if we didn't, oh God, if every, what's the saying? If everything were perfect, if every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs, right?
Yeah. If every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs.
There you go. Anywho, but of course, so the other great thing, so we have Sipka there. It's, whether you see as a passing the torch or like a little bit, hey, we got the other guy from Jackie in there too. A little nod there. Also, of course, he has the signature line, the line we love to say, one of our favorite Sipka-isms. Another Joshua Thomas grand slam. And I love this. I love that right after that, he kind of like gives like a little nod, and he walks off camera, like, I did my portion, I'm out of here. Then I love in kind of a little post-credit gag, I love that we see the man directing. We see Josh directing. We see Joshua Thomas in the room directing, basically the very end of the gag there. Okay, let's take it again. It's like, yes, there we got to see some magic happen, man.
Okay, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Some may say rehash, and even if it is rehash, not in a bad way. I disagree. I
think it's an intentional rehash. I mean, it's a rehash would just be doing something like, all right, let's just do it over again. But this, I feel like there's passion behind it.
Exactly. This is certainly, it's a rehash in the best sense of the word, and that we're doing the similar premise again, but obviously we've changed it up in a way that one could argue may have even improved it. Again, workplace comedy still works with the Jackie sketch of it all here. But again, we have kind of the familial thing here. It also feels kind of appropriate for November, especially over a meal. It's very. I just love how it's rekindling an old flame that just it just kind of essentially started it all. I mean, I know there were sketches before Jackie, but let's be honest. Jackie was the sketch that really just kind of. That was them firing on all cylinders out the gate. Because, I mean, if you want to go by what the original stuff, you had Social Network, which, again, is there in premise. And then you have, in terms of like what was there, like put up first, you have like 912, which, again, is an out there sketch. And again, this is JGI signature, but I mean in terms of like your performance, and ratcheting it up and the back and forth, and just kind of something kind of innately unique to JGI. It's absolutely kind of a Jackie, and I think we've done that again. We've kind of we've pulled the same magic trick, but we've kind of done it for, again, it's so funny to say the next generation. It's only been a couple of years for them. That'd be roughly like around 2014, 2015 when that happened. So it's been a while, but still.
5 years ago, so
it's been roughly 5 years ago. So it's.
Anyways, the point, that's not nothing in terms of the passage of time.
Sure. Okay, so regardless, again, this sketch to me is like a sketch that proves that Joshua Thomas still has it, man. He has it in spades, man. He's got it. It's fun. You can either view it as a fun continuation, or again, just kind of as kind of a fun reboot of the premise, kind of the Jay and Silent Bob reboot of Jackie. One could argue. It's doubly as ridiculous and fun as Jackie was in all the best ways. This thing was absolutely delightful. Possibly my favorite of the new season of JGI sketches so far. I really love this thing. It was great.
All right, take us out, Dragon.
Oh, that does it for now until the next exciting reach into the JGI grab bag. Mom!
I was going to say there's so many good options to pick from for the closing tag.
There are. You son of a glorious person!
Another Joshua Thomas Grand
Slam.